This campaign is Fahrenheit 451. I'm starting the recording on that sentiment because it's a good thesis statement. Okay. A report to Prefect of Scrutiny Thuri from Prefect of Obedience Volkaya pertaining to the events in and around Madcal. The Prefect of Polis's escorts proved quickly to be of more use than the man's judgment itself, while he repeatedly assured me of Kohan's newfound devotion and cooperation. I only found another soul who was duped, with the special exception of being told of the deception and holding fast. However, his oddly resourceful stately knight and his other associate found some still unknown manner to restore the all but destroyed rope bridge. Even to now, I cannot explain it, but this is not as disconcerting as it would be had I not come to learn that the associate would be an illicit shaman. With the bridge repaired, we fought our way across those blighted city islands, through the hordes of infidels too cowardly to even be able to call themselves rebels. Injuries were sustained, but we were protected by the good fortune of having Captain Ramses, Saint of Salvation Legia, and, I suppose, the participation of Baron Stuart Hoyt. At the end, with all of the forces of note out of the way, I delivered a prefect's judgment to Kohan. He is now deceased, and the town will fall into the judgment of the law. Overseer, it is not my station to question the adjudicator's missives. This, obviously, is your charge. However, I must urge you to give a second consideration of this operation. Fuck me. I can't do two things at once. This operation that tramples on the Overlord's very laws. He facilitates the free travel of a shaman, seeks to walk forbidden grounds for, frankly, dubious reasons, and, to be honest, in my time with him, I encountered distinct and irreconcilable errors in his judgment. We will discuss this more when I return to Judicature, but I do not have faith in Prefect Thane. I fear he is going to be retreading the grounds of his family lineage. I suppose, let's see, where's the map where this is? Yeah, this is our super detailed map everything's taken place on. So, oh, that's right, the shot we ended on was just a mote smiling at Arya's corruption.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell for the life of me if this stupid music was playing, so I just blasted to be like, hello?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So, Kohan sits, already dead, but continuing to bleed onto the soil. There's just a group of frightened people surrounding you. And Volkaya just finished, I guess, complimenting Canera.
We're embracing. Well, she's embracing me, and I'm resting a hand on her back.
Yeah, her hand's kind of lowering to the small of your back.
Oh.
It's going in, the shot's pulling in close.
Yeah. She looks over the town and says, "These ones will need to be dealt with. But we can't risk leaving them alone again. We've eliminated most of their forces, but we don't know what else they have on hand, and they could simply shut the gate behind us."
I'm sorry, who was it that said that? I missed that part.
Volkaya.
And she's addressing us, or is she talking to Canera?
Kind of the room.
We'll have to sort through them.
If she interrupts you, good one, Motes.
Yeah, whatever, man. We'll return and say, we're going to have to sort through them. It might as well be now. We'll have to be thorough.
She asks, What do you mean?
I have not inspired confidence in my abilities for you, and I understand. But I am still the prefect of Polis, and my skills are still in finding deceit. We line them up, we question them, we sort the good from the bad, or at least those that we can depend on. Meanwhile, in garrison, or maybe some of your soldiers will stay behind. We'll call for reinforcements that can fortify this place.
To that she looks at Ramses, who nods and says, I should go collect the nearest contingent of lawbringers and root out the mole. Who did they say that was? And I ask that to a party who I'm sure doesn't know, so I'm just going to say you give them the name.
Oh, the person in the front?
Yeah.
I have it written somewhere, but
It's in this chat history ages ago, I'm sure.
give me literally a minute. Oh, this is the worst when you have 30 fictional names written down.
Yeah. It's like who's who. I think it's a name with a lot of B's. Bibobia.
There you go.
Get some boba.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Berugia. Only one B. That's a lot.
It's a lot of B's.
It's a lot of B's in the name.
Slap that B and it'll jiggle. Alright, everyone forget I said that.
You can edit that one out.
Cut that one.
Edit that later?
Let me write down 2:14:07.
Her name was Barudia. I doubt she'll be expecting anyone to come from atop the mountain. You might have to take her, catch her unaware.
Yes, I expect she won't. Alright, well, who do we feel safe leaving? Looks like these two can get a job done fair. He'll nod at Motz's people, and Volkaya will say, I would also feel comfortable leaving behind. She looks between the Saint and the Baron and says, nobody. We all have to get to aid.
How long would you need us to stay? You've been here long enough, and I would not want you to take too long, but how long to fortify this place to collect the troops you need?
Ramses puts his hands on his hips and looks around and says, maybe if I had some kind of ride, I'd be able to half the travel time, but on foot, takes what, 2 days to get in and out of here?
Ramses, don't say it. Ramses, no.
I really could use a mount, but I don't see any horses around here. These people just keep goats and other mountain
Dead
fauna.
bodies. It's.
Yeah, place is littered with dead bodies, though. If only, I don't know, it's
It's still
crazy.
so moist.
Strong, horse-like bodies. My eyes are
Hey, good
bald.
fucking luck.
If he doesn't speak up, I will offer his services and say, a Southern Knight has a way of procuring a steed. You may not find it extremely comfortable, but it is
Nerf
allowed.
rounds.
Now, summoning steeds is not a magic I've heard of. And it'll just kind of everyone will look expectantly and confusedly to Ostrich.
I doubt many would want to discuss it.
Can I say I wouldn't call it summoning.
Manifesting might be a better word.
The Baron goes,
Ah,
oh, I've got to see this now. Oh, wait a minute.
meaning no offense, but Ludwig's a bit temperamental with new company riding him.
There's no way that you could steady him.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be a matter of me doing so, but the rider. And as far as I can tell, this fella ain't from the south.
I'll do an empathy roll. I believe him, but I want to see if it's not him just trying to protect his steed.
What do I roll for that? I forget.
Deceive.
I don't do any of that shit. Alright, you get that. He kind of doesn't want to give it up, but he also seems to mean what he means.
Okay. Sir Ostrich has been forth. If he says that it wouldn't save us any time, then I believe it. Sorry to have brought it up, but maybe best that you leave sooner than later.
But we have a rider. Him. And he'll gesture to Ostrich.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Ostrich
Yes.
will sort of tip his helmet, and then he'll walk towards and he'll say, just point out the general direction of where I can find these folks.
He tells you of the way station right next to it, but then says, this steed, it sounds most absurd by your description, I suppose. But the blanks I am unable to fill in. Can it seat two? Like any standard horse?
Ostrich, fuck. We never actually went over that.
I mean, I'd say it's fair. It's,
I think it would make sense if the roll was high enough that I could do
Okay.
that.
okay.
That's cool.
You have to get a meaty boy.
Well, you are usually extremely balancing of yourself. What kind of crafts do you think should be a challenge roll?
Let's see. General crafts. I would say has to be at least a 3.
That is roughly what I was thinking.
Yep.
Okay. Ostrich will say, well, that all really depends on what exactly the horse is made of.
Oh.
Volkaya gets that little wrinkle between her smooth brows again. Melegia looks to Canera, Ramsey squints, and Hoyt is giggling.
Kanara just shakes her head like, no, like don't.
Ramsey's
like, don't
the most
think about
invested
it.
in this, says, horse meat?
If you're squeamish, it's best to look away now.
What the fuck is going on?
Ostrich will reach toward his belt and pull out the red gemstone. He'll find any puddle of blood that's lying around, and he'll just sort of set it between the smoted bodies of anyone that was left. And
Do you
the
want to
crystal
use
will
Kohan
tap-
in particular?
Ugh.
right there.
Oh.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Oh.
He's fresh.
And he'll give the crystal a tap of his fingers and step back, and he'll do a sharp whistle. Ludwig, come forward.
Ramses is watching, like, as he put it in a pile of blood, he kind of starts filling in details, but, like, just looks, like, in shock, like, waiting to see if this is real. Stuart steps forward and is, like, leaning over people to really get a gander at this, and Melegia gasps and says, oh, by Exosa.
Yeah, Kanara will kind of take her by the shoulder and sort of turn her around.
And yeah, the Master of Deception's corpse is pulled in with another Volkaya had to step through to get to him. And they will be, their garments will be torn and pulled into this homunculus as it kneads itself together. I didn't catch the, oh yeah, we need a crafts roll.
I haven't rolled yet. I was thinking of, and I didn't think of it ahead of time. I'll just roll. Hey, there we go.
Exactly what you need. into a fairly standard. It's not the beefiest Ludwig's ever been to all of you, but fairly. You know, it's made of an old man and one of the more insignificant guards, so it's a bit sinewy. And you can see it's horrific. There are just pieces of Kohan you recognize, bits of his old scraggly hair sticking out of parts between seams
His
as
face stretched over his horse-like chest.
ah,
There it is.
Eyeless and
until,
I think
fucking open mouthed.
until the crowd, people are turning away. There's the like stock sound effect of a crowd's reaction of horror.
I think we made our point.
Yeah, you don't really need to leave anyone now. This crowd knows what'll happen to them if they rebel again.
We turned into a horse.
They'll send just Ostrich back.
Yeah.
Oh, Ludwig.
And but then the little fanfare of music plays. It's Ludwig, everyone's favorite character. He's a fan favorite. That's why I always drawn fan art of him.
Yeah, he'll do that sort of whatever. I don't even know what the term is for it. Whinnying or whatever
Yeah.
that horses do.
Kind of when they
Yeah.
bow their
Yeah.
heads and
That sort of shake of his head
Yeah.
and some blood and
The-
shit will fall
Come
out.
the
on.
whinny's like the sound effect, but God, does it make noises?
It probably makes a human sound.
Oh, like I
right?
said, yeah, like I said before, it'll kind of like the surrogate soldier. It'll take vocal cords and shit from other stuff and use that to speak.
All
So
right,
it'll sound a little bit like Kohan.
you now
It's
know
Kohan
what it
pretending
sounds
to be
like
a horse.
if Kohan was imitating a horse.
And
Not
another guy.
not knowledge you ever knew you wanted.
10 more minutes of this. Let's keep it going.
Kane's digging it.
Yeah, Kane of all people to get squeamish.
I know.
Volkaya has turned around. She's keeping her face stern but repressing disgust. Hoyt is like stepping up and admiring it like a hot new car. Melegia is just covering her face, and Ramses is standing, arms at his sides, mouth agog. And he just says, "By the Overlord." And you have Ludwig now. And he says, So that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I'll pat the side of his elongated head.
Stepping around it, Hoyt says, "God damn, I'd heard about the lady's blood magic, but it is a sight to behold. I wish I were taking a ride on this thing." "Yes, I wish that you were too.
Oh.
Well, knight, let us quickly away before I get too deep into the implications of this being."
How long should we expect you to be away?
Now, do you figure this beast can make it in a day's time?
Oh, you could do it quicker.
Yes, as little time as possible would be best. Let us away.
Nods.
We'll mount up first and offer a hand. Just step on the hand to get up.
He's just gonna, once he starts going, he's gonna close his eyes really tight and just settle in behind you. Say, "I'll return presently and immediately in my wake. I will have a carriage ready to take us across the bridge."
Archer will stop and he'll do that thing where he puts one hand on like his the top of his thigh and turns his body to look at him, and he'll go, "Try not to move around too much, and if you feel something squeamish underneath you, well, just try to ignore it." He'll turn forward and
As they ride off, he turns and looks helplessly at Volkaya, who just has to look away.
We could just have the whole episode be them traveling.
And they're off, and all are disgusted except Hoyt, who turns and waves fondly and says, "Oh, it's been so long since I got a bit of culture." I hope we'll be out of here sooner than later. This Exosa forsaken place.
Can I also say, for once we are in agreement.
For the time being, I think it's best that everyone return to the village. That we stay here, posted.
The three former captives admittedly look from you to the bridge when you mention the village, and like nobody moves a step. They all look like they don't want to be the volunteer to do something.
The captives from who? Which captives are these?
Like the three
The
other
people who had
Exosan
been
people.
here.
The prisoners.
They've been stuck here for months.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're not gonna be going back there. We're staying.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to. Sorry, I'll explain this plan better whenever I move up. I will say, people have gathered here, but this close to the gates, it's no good. We should tell them to leave. We lower the bridge and we stay here on this side. We wait only a day's time, and he will return, and you will be able to leave.
What of your Inquisition to weed out the chaff?
My group will travel with me. You've done plenty, and it's important that the gate maintains its security.
I agree, and I'll be all too happy to stay closest to the exit. Seconded.
Just nod, acknowledging the trouble they've been through.
Volkaya will say, all right, Hoyt, you take control of the gate mechanism. We'll stay in the outpost closest. We'll lower the bridge after you, Prefect.
Of course. When our night is through, we will join you on this side and resume in the morning. I will turn to my group and say, it's been a long day, but the fighting should be done. Anyone foolish enough to continue fighting, well, we'll have to show them that there is error in that. Can I trust you to do this? Both of you.
No.
Arya will nod once.
He meets her. Turns to Kanara.
Kanara, very lidded eyes, will also nod, and she'll say, how do you intend to conduct your research?
I will summon my muse. With that, it's huge, and I encircle the entire island.
God, he really leveled up from that spire.
That's the noise it makes.
And he will
Shit,
say,
bud.
I've had practice.
She'll say, obviously. She'll say, would you prefer to do it one at a time? Says, should we find a place where you can set post and deliver them to you?
No. That leaves the possibility of them hiding. We travel rock to rock.
It's, very well then.
Before we do that, does anyone else have consequence slots that need to be treated? Because I was hoping to have the other saint look at mine real quick before we head out.
I've got a severe. That's probably going to be there a while. Oop, I deleted it, so I'm all healed.
Damn it. Well, there's no way I can...
That is the rule.
That's the rules. I have to honor that.
I'll look over to the lady and say, on the off chance that they do expect to put up resistance, I wouldn't mind having you look after my wounds in case new ones take their place.
Of course, Prefect.
And I just have a mild that if she could get treated, I'll start treating it.
Yeah, what is it?
Sprained shoulder from carrying Arya up.
She removes just your coat and kind of sidles up on you, sits almost like side to side, and bracing your other shoulder with one arm and resting her hand on the wounded shoulder. She feels around, and you can feel this pleasant warmth as her hand lays down. And it seems like she's searching. She's not even looking at anything in particular with her eyes. At which she opens her eyes wider, and let's see, roll a physique.
Got it.
Nope. It's treated. It stabilizes, but she can't get it to go away.
Okay, it's a start.
And she says, you don't have much energy left over from today, I expect. Your body doesn't have enough vitality to give over for me to dismiss it entirely.
Any energy I do have is set to the task, but I appreciate your strength regardless. Thank you.
It will begin mending now. Now. Wait.
Now.
Now. 3, 2. Now. 3, 2. 1, 2. Now.
Just boot him right off the edge of the cliff.
To your right, a little bit more. Perfect.
Aria's tabletop behind him.
I will motion over for Arya and say, see what she can do for you.
Declan, can I compel my fourth aspect? I'm going to try to lie to this woman that I'm doing better.
All right.
So obviously that would be not getting help if I'm successful, but I'm going to compel. Arya will do her best to...
I'm going to have this be a, worth the compel, because otherwise it might have just been about to move down, but it will stay for a bit now.
Yeah, I'll take that. Let's see. All right, that's not bad. So Arya will, kind of standing up a little straighter, and she'll say, yeah, that does not succeed, Moats. She'll say, I've been working on it at night. I think I'm doing fine now.
Melegia looks you up and down and overly successfully deceived. She says, well, you are full of wonders. And for kind of the first time, you can see her struggling to be nice to someone. I don't know, there's an empathy to it you could do. I guess I'll leave it at that for now.
It's about right.
Wow. Yeah, no, you can't read deeper into that. Your eyes are blurry from the untreated... from the wound that is as bad as it looks.
As gangrene advances to the next stage. Arya, hallucinating 3 of these saints, looks among them, and she just kind of chides. Healing magic is not specific to the forgiven.
Okay, don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, she is weirdly taken aback, but she just kind of does the pleasant, like, white woman thin lips smile. And, just turns away from you.
If you've seen to yourself, then we should see to the town. And then he will... There's bridges that lead to this one and that one, right? Both the left hand.
Yeah, these are raisable and not destroyed.
I will start moving towards the left.
Do we have to corral all the people?
It's kind of an automatic thing. You clearly have the superior military force.
Yeah,
The horse
I was
did
gonna
that.
say, the horse did do that. As Moats is kind of heading back toward that direction, Canera will stand up on whatever is kind of the tallest apparatus that she can just stand on to get everyone's attention, and she'll say, all civilians are to move past, no, she'll say, back over the bridge into town where you can be monitored until further notice. And then she'll kind of point in that direction with her weapon. She'll say, move out.
Volkaya steps under and says, you'll do as she says. An inquisition will be conducted. If you are truthful in pledging your allegiance to Exosa for the foreseeable... No, not foreseeable. For now and ever, in the wake of your treason, you will not necessarily have to fall to the blade. And then she just nods to Canera to start corralling them.
Canera, like a sheepdog, will kind of move behind the crowd to make sure that no stranglers try to take off and flee.
Nice.
You miss one strangler, and he comes for your throat.
He does come right for my throat.
He's the one strangler on the ground. Oh, I love this. Yeah, they move. There's no real contest here. These people are thoroughly defeated at large, and just generally move as one who has surrendered do.
Yeah. Whenever they've kind of started making their journey across, I'm still back here with Kanera and Arya. I will tell Kanera they've already given us a place to put the prisoner, the island that they would have kept us for who knows how long. I say we use it.
So what is Moat suggesting?
So what I want to do is go through and basically question the islands, and I don't know if Declan will just kind of like do a fast forward, or if you've got some individual segments planned. Okay,
I'm just gonna have you do, your muse rolls, but I didn't plan to be in the weeds on this at all.
Okay, great. In that case, I'm just saying, like, we sort them out, and then anyone who's found to be treasonous is put on the this island.
Little jail island. Perfect.
Yeah, it's poetic justice. So that's all I wanted to suggest. But
Yep.
Yeah, if we're gonna fast forward, I'll go ahead and do the roll whenever you want.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, cool.
No, people are obstinate and refuse to cooperate. We have to corral them. It takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I not like anyone here put me in the weeds. I put myself in the weeds of being like, all right, we need to deal with this town, but mostly out of logic of not just walking out of this place where, like,
yeah,
an insurgent faction existed.
You guys better behave.
All right, now don't do anything because we gotta go.
Okay.
No. But do.
Kanera would.
Yeah.
Just to your suggestion, Moats, Kanera would, because the last island we were on before we got here, like if it was this one, for example, but all of the bridges were destroyed except for the one leading toward the entrance, right?
Not destroyed. Generally,
this
there's
path.
Yeah, that one is. I think Ostrich doubled back to do that one.
Yeah, this one's
Okay.
severed.
Well, we could just go basically until there was only one bridge forward, and then stay there. Because if we only have one exit to guard.
Yeah, I mean, just let's assume for the storytelling's sake that we do plan this thoroughly, and Kanera is a battle expert. She would know where to put people.
Yeah.
So we'll just fast forward through that.
This is essentially you've defeated the enemy. Deciding this is basically free.
Yeah. One thing I would ask Kanera though is, I guess in fiction or out of fiction, could you create a provoke advantage? Is your provoke high, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just for the investigation, I think it would be perfect to have you like stonewall behind me.
Sure, absolutely. Do you want me to do that right now?
Definitely gonna start doing the.
Yeah, I was going to have you
question.
roll 3, I think, Inquisitus.
Sure.
Just by the
Is there going to be
amount
any
of time
dialogue?
this would take. No.
Okay. So what I'm going to say for my provoke, the reason my provoke is there is because Kanera is going to be there. Basically, her input is going to be telling people that they don't necessarily have to be listening to the leaders. Like if they ever had like a flicker of doubt in themselves, like they don't need to be strong-armed by the people who were running this place.
Okay.
All right. What the fuck are we rolling?
Frankly, unless you want to edit it to be more intimidating, that actually sounds quite on the level and like rapport, but I know that's worse for you.
It is worse for me.
It sounds like gentle, like, listen, if you had any problems, you don't have to listen to these people. They're not in charge anymore. You're safe now with Exosa. It seems very friendly, even for in a I don't know, not actually friendly way, but not threatening them.
It's true. I think Kane was just saying my presence was more of the intimidator.
That'd be a provoke. If you didn't want to say anything and you just
literally just stare at them.
Yeah, you just shoved them around and corralled them.
All right, maybe I'll hold on to that dialogue for later if I need it.
Flexing in the background.
I'll let Moats do his thing before I put in my 2 cents.
So, should I
Uh,
start rolling, Declan, or?
she hasn't rolled yet.
Okay, yeah. So you go ahead and do it now.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess success was style, given the way I put it in my head. So 2.
Okay, I'm gonna use
Intimidating
my first one.
presence.
Yeah. Okay. And you just want 3 in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oof.
Wow.
I'm gonna use a fate point on that one. And literally just tap my high concept, or my problem, honestly.
There's like 17 aspects this could be.
Yeah.
This is the thing you do.
So that'll be a 5, and then final one. Okay. Whatever. One of them was gonna be a 3.
Man, can't get your snake up today, huh?
Yeah, it happens to everybody.
Tell me
It's
about
everybody
it.
except me,
It's
but
been
everybody
stressful.
else. Yeah, it's stressful.
I've heard it happens to everybody.
There's a woman questioning, your station.
But she's right, and
And-
that's what really makes
Yeah,
it.
she's right is what gets to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting a soft snake.
It's true. I gotta talk to the. Go ahead. Tune will know what to do about this.
Tuna. That sounds pretty embarrassing. I wouldn't know about that.
I roll empathy. He wouldn't.
Your grandfather once came to me about the same matter, though, and I suppose I could call upon what I told him.
Well, just throwing a jug around. He doesn't want to hear about it.
Throwing a jug around? What is this expression of
It's an empty jug. He's just throwing it.
Is that? Do they say that where you're from, Kane?
No, it makes him look strong.
anger jug? Just picks it up and throws it in the corner.
Big old jug.
It's like an empty water cooler bottle.
Don't throw my jug, Modes.
Stop throwing my jug.
Hey, cut that up. Now stop that. Now stop that.
We knew Motes was coming. I said put the jug up.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. So, for the first general 2/3 of the day, you quite efficiently weed out people who can't seem to find it in their hearts to even lie to you about pledging allegiance. There are those who try and fail. There are those who really try, but you sense a hopelessness within them. And you can decide kind of what to do with each individual one. And there are those who openly defy you and will happily be executed. They are small in number, but you can always find those ones among rebels and the like.
Of course.
Those who defy you and openly plead to hear their case or to just forget about this whole thing.
Yeah, any person like that, I'd just pretty much tell them that their case will be heard and that they will have their time to argue, but that's not now.
Yeah.
And just kind of push them forward.
And given the day you've had, as you get on, you can feel yourself, rubbing your eyes. You occasionally have to ask a question twice to double check with Inquisitus. You feel fairly confident at the end about your numbers and about the sanctity, but I think the image of Kohan creeps into your mind once you're finished, once you send the last one away, which you will do with what you will.
Yeah. Okay. And begrudgingly lift himself up. I imagine the sun is setting at this point.
I feel like it's... God, what time was it when we got out here?
Or guys, it rising. We started fighting
Probably
at dusk,
rising.
didn't we? Oh my god. All right.
Hold on. So you guys, escaped in the night.
God, we've been up all night.
We have been up all night.
Been up
Not
all
you.
night.
No, I'm sleeping soundly.
Like a baby.
Arya is sleeping in the middle of a bridge because it's like a big hammock. They kept telling her
Arya's-
not to, but she thinks it's fun.
Arya's got ASMR on her phone.
Fuck, I really lost track of time with this one. By the end of your thing, I guess it's probably starting to set again. It's now dusk.
Oh my god.
You've been up all morning and day, and now it's starting to be night again.
Sure.
And
And saying, yeah.
No, go ahead.
And seeing any of the soldiers that we collected off onto the island that they've been sequestered to, I would turn to the group and We've done what we could. The rest will be sorted. If any were able to escape, they will not be able to do so for long. But I think it is time we return to the others.
For my reference, really quick, we executed the ones for sure who were rebellious.
I said the word that they accepted execution. Kane is the prefect.
I would not execute them. I feel like they're overstepping.
So no one's doing that right now. It's just like they'll be sorted based on your judgment.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it'd maintain control. You don't just want to start chopping people's heads
No,
off.
absolutely not.
What,
no, you don't.
What was your threshold on who gets sent to Prisoner Island? Any amount of doubt, or are there those on the line you would hold lenience to?
I would take lenience as long as I have their name written down.
Okay.
I imagine we'd be like keeping a book
Yeah.
almost. Like we'd call their names out and create a, what is it called? A manifest?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be doing that.
Moats, is the big book you carry one of laws? Do you have like a personal smaller journal that you know how to braille into?
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
definitely.
Yeah.
So he'd set his book on his lap and take it down, like sitting like a shitheel as he interviews all these people.
And yeah, Arya and Canary, you kind of get your first look at Moats efficiently and correctly doing his main job, which is this. And looks to be displaying as much proficiency as you do at your individual jobs.
Yeah.
Can I try to scope out what he's written down, like in terms of verdict for people, or is that even written down? Is it just in his brain? Kane?
You know, I read in Braille, but I did have my sight before, so I don't think there's an instrument that would easily write in Braille in this universe. I don't want to contrive something like that.
I was contriving one. I picture.
Are you cool with that?
I don't have a specific one, but I picture some weird like steampunk like device that you can somehow use to. I don't know.
Oh, awesome! As long as you're cool with that, I didn't want to like make it too contrived, but
No,
yeah,
I believe it. This is your job, and probably have to write what you can read.
I almost imagine it's like feeding through a receipt machine.
Yeah,
like
maybe you
prints
type it
off,
up before you spin wheels to type it up beforehand and run it across a page.
Yeah, maybe it's like a typewriter that has in Braille all the letters.
That's cool.
I was literally picturing like a rolling, kind of like what Declan was
Yeah.
describing, like a rolling stamp pad.
Because that's like a tool you could have in your pocket next to the journal.
Yeah, like if you've got like 6 sliders, you would slide like the appropriate braille that you would need, and then almost like press it forward to stamp a line at a time.
Yeah. So he will have had that in front of him. So if you want to.
So
able
Canara,
to read
probably
Braille.
not.
Yeah, probably not.
Well then, when we were all complete, and I'm assuming it was just me and Moats in that little pocket, right? It was just you and I.
No, I mean, if there's not...
Well, hang on. Once again, Moats is the
Specific-
prefect. What do you do with the criminal?
I want her present.
Okay.
I want her to see this. And I'd honestly keep her behind me to the right if she would stay there the entire time.
So
I'd want
Nah,
her-
she's fidgety. I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe not, but
She's
I
got
would
ADHD.
tell her to. I'd tell her to watch.
Huh, I like that.
All right. So when we were done, when you had kind of reached your last verdict, Canara would kind of break whatever formation that they had had. She's probably been really still most of the time, but maybe needed to like stretch her shoulders or her neck. And she'd say, Prefect, if I may.
I believe all has been seen to. Yes. What is it, Saint?
Says, I am not aware of how you've passed your judgment. Says, obviously there are some here that are beyond our hopes and beyond Exosa's word. And is there like a good way to say Exosa's like blessings? Like what is that?
Grace.
Grace.
Boom.
That's good. Because blessings seemed kind of like Christmas, you know, like
It's too
Nice.
positive.
It's too positive. Exosa's grace, she'll say. But a wide variety of them could come to learn and understand Exosa's law. Say, they have been kept in a place where they are unable to see his divine radiance. And if I could so humbly suggest they get a chance at integration before they are deemed unfit.
Saint, I'm sure you understand that Exosa's judgment does not fall evenly on all.
Says, I of all people am most aware.
Well, then I feel that I do not need to explain. Some will be held in contempt, some will be forgiven more than others, and some will be hung, burned, tossed from the rocks that are on our feet.
Oh, sorry. For my clarification, she was saying that people who are irredeemable should be, but she was saying for everybody else, give them a chance.
Yeah, and he's saying, of course, like that's
Okay,
the nature of law.
She'll maybe take a beat, kind of looking you over, and she'll say, then I am glad to see that you are a man of Exosa's law. And say, I assume we are resolved here.
I believe we are, Saint.
Very well. I will go keep a close eye on the civilian populace.
You won't join us on the gates. Join us at the gates?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Arya, will you lead me to them? The day's been long, and I do not wish to lose my footing.
She'll just start taking him by the hand. Or the arm, I'm sorry. It's very intimate.
Yeah. Okay. I will allow her to do so.
All right, Kanera stays behind, and I think there's a shot of maybe she hits the switch and the last bridge on Prisoner Island gets lowered as you two depart across the city.
She's suddenly overwhelmed by 300 people just dogpiling onto her at once.
Keep the light show.
All right, prisoners, peep the light show. Kanera's detaining you.
But yeah, she'll stay behind for now.
And you make it.
She's gonna eat the prisoners.
You're able to freely raise the bridge back to the gates and cross. And you lower it once you get to the other side. Just a safety measure you all have agreed to take.
Yep.
And when you get there, at the gate controls, Hoyt is asleep. And in the other outpost, Volkaya is very asleep. And Meleja is cradling her.
I am tempted to let them sleep. But I don't know, Arya, are you saying anything? Are you just witnessing this right now?
She'll probably say in a very low voice, "They are sleeping, Prefect."
I guess
Good, thank you. I really appreciate it.
I don't know if you can see like, the
No,
flames have little Z's coming out of them.
I was waiting, yeah. It was like somebody has to tell me they're asleep.
Yeah, Moats' UI sucks.
Yeah.
Can't tell when enemies are aware or anything.
God, they're attentive as shit. These guys haven't moved. They're very good at their job.
Their stalwartness is admirable. While they're sleeping, Prefect.
Sleeping on the job.
I'm gonna use my gun.
And we'll turn towards her and say, "Are any of them awake?"
All right, let's see.
Meleja is faintly awake.
Which one is Meleja? She's the saint.
Yes. How dare you? This colorful cast I've introduced that the fans love. You can't remember which one is Meleja?
Oh, I got like their names are all like Harmonica or like
Volkaya, Meleja. No wonder you can't tell anybody apart. They all end in A.
they're like Beyblades. I don't know what the fuck.
Ramsey's
Stu.
She'll say, "Man, are we far enough away that if I talk, am I like, well, Melejia's awake, her eyes are just gonna snap to me." Let's see. Well,
She looks over the second you start speaking.
Yeah, pretty much. And seeing that they've been alerted, she'll say, Arya will remember her name, or rather, she'll just say, Saint, you're awake.
Oh, I've been awake. It's difficult to sleep.
She'll say, was it the horse?
It's been a long... And then she kind of looks down and has a moment of crisis, and she says, it's been a long time.
You had your freedom taken from you. It is, well, a displacement of inertia to have that feeling come rushing back.
She will cut Arya off and say, Prefect, was there anything you need of the, Prefect?
Real quick, empathy of 2, and then we'll get to that.
Okay.
Don't make me talk to this fucking low-life criminal.
Yeah, she matches you. She really doesn't have that high of a stat, but it's not hard to beat you people.
Yeah.
just purely on accident. She is uncomfortable with Arya. You can't place where, but you can probably place why.
Okay. I will turn towards Arya and say, since he's not a count, is he? He's a baron. That's
Baron.
Since the baron has left the bridge unattended, would you mind looking after it?
She'll, let's just see if Arya gets any read on the situation. Yeah, about right. Not finding anything weird at all, Arya will just kind of shrug and bop away.
I guess I have to roll per... Okay.
Oh, true.
You get that she is uncomfortable with you in a way where she has a default Midwestern state to be nice to everybody, and that instinct is there, but it is also repelled by her beliefs. There's a real conflict every word that comes out of her mouth to you.
Gotcha. In that case, she will make eye contact with Melegia as she says, of course, and begins to walk away.
You can't make eye contact if she refuses to look at you.
Oh, there you go. Look at my feet as I go.
Fuck yeah.
Look at them.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's all the land they walk, but those shaman feet.
Oh, God.
That's
Those
my
feet
favorite
should
anime.
be outlawed.
The shaman
Oh,
Why are
feet.
you
stink
staring
so
at him so
much.
much?
What are you gawking at my feet for?
You're looking right at him.
Okay.
She does look up and after Arya once she's gone, and then to you, Moats, but then that's kind of uncomfortable, and she settles back into letting Volkaya rest upon her shoulder.
I think it's best you stay with her. I wouldn't ask you to keep watch any longer.
She looks out and says, well, I'm keeping watch by virtue of the fact I am sat here.
You really aren't going to get any rest, are you?
I will when I need to.
I trust that. Well, when our own saint returns, I'm sure that she will be willing to watch, and between her and... He'll just kind of say, between her and myself, I'm sure we can see to it.
She nods.
He just kind of coughs, knowing that he was about to mention Arya, but deciding not to. And then nods at her and walks away.
She catches you as you expect to go and says, Prefect.
Yeah. Yes.
It sounded like your grandfather was a loyal servant of Exosa. I'm sure things sound worse than they are. You kind of immediately gather her alone time with Volkaya garnered some talk.
He
Arya,
will...
come back.
He's already kind of turned his back, but he collects himself and breathes through his nose before turning around and says, he made a child tribune saint. Not only that, he compromised our entire mission to the south. And that's just the things we know about, so No, I'm sure she has a correct estimate and just how bad things are.
Melegia looks uncertain. She looks kind of caught off guard and raises her eyebrows and looks to you. Then Volkine says, "My apologies, Prefect."
No, I've had to explain this many times. It's not your fault. It's the curse of the name. Thane. Something I wish I could be rid of. Good night.
And shortly after Motes departs, Ostrich. This is another thing that I didn't need a whole scene for. You got there, Ramses did his badass thing, and he personally choked Baruja to death.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice. He deserved that, honestly.
Yeah.
He deserves
Deserve
nice
that.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Made her crimes known to the rest of her cohorts, and got together a little platoon and took a carriage started taking a carriage up the bridge. You were allowed to return on your own on Ludwig. In fact, he insisted you do.
On your own.
He immediately went for new pants as soon as he got off.
So roll a ride.
Rad.
Well,
Nice.
you show up well ahead of the others with the news for those watching the gate that they should just be an hour or more behind, and they allow you in. Actually, you had to run the rest of the way, like a couple 100 meters, as Ludwig, with only a 3, collapsed about 4/5 into your journey and just spilled body parts all over the bridge. You really tested the limits of that old wagon.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So you showed up to the McDonald's drive-thru with no car, and they let you in.
Yep.
Right.
I don't know. Beyond that, it really is just kind of waiting. Unless, does anyone have anything they want to address? No,
I
we had
think-
like. Go ahead.
No, so I think I'm good.
Same.
I think Hoyt will catch Ostrich on his way through after he is woken up to raise the gate for Ostrich. He'll kind of jog out after putting it back up and say, Hey there, Knight.
Ostrich will turn and look at him.
There's no hard feelings about the way things went out there, right?
Ostrich will punch him.
Yeah.
Fight.
Oh man.
Oh, fuck.
And he'll continue on.
Roll a fight. How bad is this?
Alright.
I just take all the air out of his gut.
Jesus Christ, Hoyt. He hits the soil like flat, one hit, and he's out for the night. He lands and he doesn't move. He doesn't even like recoil a bit. He just is flat.
Everyone claps.
Oh man.
And then yeah, you link up. Everybody is able to rest comfortably until it's like half asleep. Ramses and group arrive with a carriage and some horses. Actually, now Ramses does show up. He's beaten up, but you know what? He shows up to the job.
Nice.
He gets the gate is lowered for him, and
Yep.
they step into the village, and presumably you guys get up to meet him.
Yeah. Real quick, my moderate consequence of flamelit. Can I get rid of that since it was another day of rest?
Moderate. When was this?
That was back in the tree fire day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna meet Ramses because I have the manifest, so I want to at least give that to him.
He strolls up to you and says, Prefect, I trust everything's in order as per your judgment.
Of course, Captain. We have sequestered some to a remote island, and the rest on this manifest should be interviewed by yourself, soldiers, anything to sort through the number.
He looks over toward Prisoner Island, and he just grimaces and says, fitting.
I thought you'd like it, yes.
Well, as they did, I'll appoint men to the bridges, and we'll watch over them until, I guess, let's see. You give the manifest to him, and it's on a lawbringer to, I guess, execute upon the missive of a prefect. So he says,
yeah.
We will execute your will, Prefect.
I have no doubt. I admire your dedication to this, and I know how close you are to it, but do you think you can do so justly? I'm not trying to be shitty about it. I just am looking at him.
He'll kind of grip at the reins of his own steed and look in that direction, and he lingers on it a little too long, and he looks down at you and says, to remain steady in my constitution, I think I will remain at the gate and watch over here. My men have no connection. They will oversee your orders without bias.
An unclouded judgment. It's a fair. Thank you, Captain.
Now, it's well past time the rest of you leave this blighted place.
Agreed. I will collect our few and we will be out.
He gestures to your carriage.
Hell yeah, we got wheels now.
Yeah.
No, it's
horse.
Flintstone style.
Do we have to provide our own horse? Please say no.
Well, it would help it go faster.
Nah, I imagine Ludwig he's tired.
He's tuckered. He needs
Back
to
in
come
the
needs a nap.
otherworldly flesh stables where they keep him.
He's inside his crystal, kind of sleeping.
Ah, like a Pokeball.
Basically, yeah.
Like a
Only much
horrible
more fucked up.
fetus.
I love Horrible Fetus in Death Stranding. That's his best performance yet.
0 days old and such a nuance.
After being made of an old man and a feeble guard, carrying a giant man.
He
And a
carries the
normal
back
rider.
pains of an old man. He carries those who he's made of.
Yep.
Yeah.
He needs a rest.
No, you guys are provided steeds. They have
Cool.
resources back down in Sokolia.
Yeah. In that case, I will collect them, and then unless anyone has anything, just kind of nod our way out.
I imagine Kanara joined everyone slightly late after she saw that the main gates had been opened.
He'll, so, the four that were prisoner together, he'll, brace arms with Melegia, and she'll bring it into a hug. He'll salute Volkaya, who salutes him back and nods. And then he kind of comes down the line to Hoyt, who he just points at Hoyt and then points at the carriage. And Hoyt, nursing a horrible welt on his face, will just sluggishly stroll over and collapse into the back seat.
Oh Lord, is he coming with us?
I think so.
He's got to go too, you guys.
Yeah. We'll get rid of him soon enough. Don't
Yeah,
worry
we'll
about
get
it.
him out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alright, say my goodbye to the cap.
Who all is coming with us?
The four of you, plus Volkaya, Melegia, and Hoyt.
Okay.
Oh,
alright, so
okay.
it's coming with us for now. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're all catching the same
good.
ride back to Moonpox proper.
Okay, got you. And then from there we can head to... I have it written down somewhere. We'll get there.
We'll get there. He'll find it. But yeah, there's just a long, wide shot of you guys finally going back down the bridge out of Mad Cow.
Cool.
In the windswept distance and the abyssal depths it sinks to, and the hot, dry sun in a clear sky, casting large shadows over the mountain villages.